Days and weeks went by, the letter disappeared. Maybe someone lost it many miles from here. I recall that Monday morning, the letter came back to my home.
I was quite young. I started with the violin. Actually, I was 8 years old when I started playing the violin. And I always loved listening to country music because my parents are very much into it. And I grew up in the countryside, so we always had that lifestyle pretty much. We have horses and, always had like cowboy boots and all that. But when I first started playing the violin, since, in Germany you don't really have fiddle teachers, so I had classical violin lessons. And I did that for 6 years. When I got into singing and guitar playing actually through a musical in our school where I wanted to be part of, and to audition there I had to really train how to sing, and I had never done it before, and so that's how I got into it. And I then picked up the guitar as well to do songwriting, and then I actually stopped with the violin lessons because I really was like, the decision became more and more clear. I want to make country music, and if my teacher's not going to teach me country fiddle, then I'm going to stop lessons and do it myself. And so then I listened to all the music and all the solos, and watched a lot of YouTube videos, and just pretty much started playing by ear. Which is also good because I was very focused on sheet music before, so then I became just more of an intuitive musician. And and throughout my teenage years, was busking a lot, and writing more and more songs. And pretty much when I finished school, I wanted to travel and instantly and go to the US and Canada, but because of COVID, I had to postpone that, and I was busking even more. Eventually I was able to afford my car from busking, and then I started touring all in Europe, and that's what I've been doing ever since.
Wow,
so.
yeah. You don't sound like a German. How did you learn yourself that quite good English? Or American?
Yeah, American English too. Yeah, I had a high motivation for the music to sound authentic, and so also pretty much from when I started singing about 12 years old, I was really training the accent that came with the music, and I was. But through singing, I found it easier to have a better pronunciation when singing. And then it came also with the speaking. And now that I've been traveling a lot, and really the past 3 years I was barely in Germany, so I use English a lot too now. So, yeah.
How popular is country music in Germany?
It is slowly growing right now. There's more and more country fans, especially for the modern country music, which is nice to see. But I still find it quite difficult to have a full music career in Germany, because a lot of the events and stuff are very focused on line dancing and all that stuff, which is not so good for original artists like me who do their own songs. And for me to be a full-time musician, I couldn't just play in Germany.
You played in a lot of countries. How do they react to you? Because you're from Germany, not from America. Most of the singer-songwriters, the country people, are from America. But how do they react if they hear you're from Germany? Is it an open world or not?
Well, yeah, it's funny because a lot of times they're surprised because they also think I'm from Canada or the States or something.
Canada.
Yeah, a lot of people think I'm from Canada. I guess I have maybe Canadian accent for some reason. So a lot of people are surprised just because of the style of music, how I talk and everything. So it's not really what they expect. I think maybe my socks give it away sometimes. I realize the more I travel that it's a German thing to have high socks. And I do have high socks a lot. You mostly can't see it because of my boots, but when you can see it, I think that gives it away. But no, for the most part, people tend to be quite surprised wherever I go that I'm from Germany.
The reason I'm asking it's not a problem to go abroad and have a good career as a musician in the country music.
Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, for me, it's important to go abroad because, as I said, in Germany there's some stuff, but it's not enough for what I want to do. I really enjoyed my time in the UK this spring because there's a very vibrant scene and country music is really exploding there. A lot of festivals, a lot of artists, a lot of opportunities to connect with other artists as well. So yeah, I think it's so important as an artist in general to be in touch with the other people in the scene and not just, even though I'm a solo artist, we're all in this together, and it's important to have your connections. And so that's why I also like playing everywhere and getting to know people everywhere.
How do you write your songs? Is it just being alone and tackling on your guitar or something? How do you write your songs?
That's such a good question because it happens differently sometimes because I do just write on my own. I haven't really had the chance to co-write a lot yet. So, sometimes it's like when I'm practicing and as you said, I'm just kind of like doing something on the guitar and then the chord progression comes up and then sometimes it goes that way. Sometimes I have something that I really want to talk about, something that's on my mind, and I really, and maybe there's like a line that comes up where it's like, oh, I really found the right words to put this thought into words, and then the rest forms around that. I tend to write songs when I'm under stress and when I really have time for songwriting. I tend to not be able to write as well, I would say. Sometimes I have the best ideas in the car when I'm like driving and so yeah, sometimes you just have to like record stuff on your phone really quick to not lose the idea.
Your songs, what are they all about? What's your favorite theme to write about?
A lot of themes, but it also like evolves, I think, of course, with like what phase of life I'm in. So because I like to write just about what's on my mind or what moves me as a person. And lately, I tend to write a lot of songs that evolve around change. Because, for me as a musician, of course, I live a life with kind of constant change and traveling a lot and, living in different places and always, interacting with different people every day. So it's constant change for me. But I also know that for everyone, we're living in times of a lot of change and a lot of insecurity in a lot of ways. And so I think in the bigger and the smaller picture, change is something that kind of really I think about a lot lately. And so, yeah, I think that's my current theme.
Live, you play with a loop station. Is that also how you record your songs in your singles?
Yes and no, because, I used to perform a lot without the loop station before I introduced that to my set, and I was just with guitar and vocals. It was actually through, I was performing with Oliver Anthony in the Netherlands in 2024. And I was his fiddle player. And so through my work with him, I really kind of, I guess, realized again that I'm a fiddle player and that how much I missed it when I was just performing solo with guitar. And that's when I, started with the loop station because I really wanted to have a way to use all my instruments in a solo performance. And so ever since I'm doing that, I do also sometimes write songs specifically to be able to loop and sometimes write with the loop station. But mostly I have the structure of the song first and then I make the loop arrangement.
Your newest single is Address Unknown.
Oh yes, it is. It's actually a
What is it about?
It is actually it's about very much a storytelling song. It's a true story. I wrote this song a while ago, and just released it very late. But so that was about when I first really fell in love with an Italian cowboy, and so I lived in Italy for a while, and he was also a country musician, so we made country music together and had a great time. And I eventually went back to Germany for a bit. And I wrote him a letter because I'm quite old school. And so I wrote him a handwritten letter, just letting him know that I'm thinking about him and all that stuff. And I just never got an answer, and I was really confused, like what's happening. And eventually the letter came back to my house, and there was a note on it saying, return to sender, address unknown. Which didn't make sense because the address was correct. I checked. And a few days later, I got a call from a girl, and she said, like, oh, I found some pictures, and it looks like you guys are in a relationship, which is funny because he and I are in a relationship too. And so I was heartbroken, of course. I was really young, and well, I burnt the letter and I wrote address unknown. So I think it's for everyone there who has believed in someone but was wrong. And it can be a very bad feeling.
Yeah, well, it inspired you to write a quite nice song, isn't it?
It did. Sometimes the best songs come out of the worst feelings, so that's good.
About your future, what are your plans for this year and the coming years?
Actually, yeah, touring. I do also have kind of songs piling up for a new project, so I'm probably gonna do an album next because my last project was an EP. So I do want to do that probably more towards winter to really get to recording. And when like festival season and that slows down, and to record all the new songs that I'm already playing live but have not recorded or released. So that's something I want to do. And then for the coming year or like years, I really want to tour as much as possible all around Europe. I'm probably going to dive more and more also in the UK scene because I've had a lot of like really good audiences there, and I do also want to go to the US probably sometime in 2026, but I have to figure out the exact plans for that still. But touring.
Until I started walking on my own feet for the first time, and all the voices faded till I only heard